Hi guys, welcome to Poultry with Modupe. My name is Modupe. I am a layer poultry farmer, a layer poultry consultant, a layer poultry trainer doing business in Nigeria. Today, I am taking you behind the scene so you see how things are done in a layer poultry farm, the daily routine we undergo or we do in a layer poultry farm to ensure we have a maximum production at every time. So feed is actually very important in layer poultry farming. Feed is so important, but then there are other things we have to do, things we do in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening on a layer poultry farm to ensure we have maximum production at all time, and of course more profits. And you can just also steal my routine, learn from me, and do all this, replicate all this on your farm, and you also have wonderful results. So stick around. Morning time are so important in a layer poultry farm. So you see, we're opening our pen. That's the first thing we do when we get to the farm in the morning. We open the door to the pen, we get into the pen, and we check on the health of the birds. That's very important. So these are just the things we do. We check on the health of the birds. We check for signs of illness. We check for droppy combs. We just check their behavior. We check if they finish their feed the night before. We check the water nipple to be sure that it is functional. We check their activity generally. Then we check that things are fine with them. We check their poo also. We check that the poo is the right texture, is the right color. It doesn't have any funny color. It doesn't have unnecessary. Yeah, so checking the dropping is very, very important. And these are some of the things we do in the morning once we get into our layer poultry farm. So these are morning routine. Like I said, these are my daily routine, the breakdown of my daily routine to ensure I have maximum production on my farm. So we check on the dropping of the birds. This one has just been packed, so it doesn't look so full, but then you're able to detect if anything is wrong with your birds from what their droppings look like. So that's one of the first thing we do when we open the pen in the morning. Then we check the water also. We check that the water is okay. So you have to always provide fresh water to your birds. Always ensure clean fresh water every time. So don't give your birds dirty water, because dirty water may reduce production. So this water look like this because it is medicated water. There's medication in the water. But then you can see what our fresh water looks like. You can see the water from the tap. It is clean, it is clear, and it is free from all kind of dirt. So you're certain that my birds will produce well. Another thing is to feed our birds. We feed our birds every morning. Every morning the birds have to be fed. So we give our birds like 65% of their daily consumption. We give them in the morning. Yes, we give them the 70% or 65% in the morning. So let's say, for instance, you have to give your birds like 5 bags of feed per day. So you know that you have to give them like 3.5 bag in the morning, then 1.5 bag in the afternoon. So you have to give your birds quality feed at all time so as to ensure you have maximum production on your farm. Once you give your birds good feed, like 65%, 70% in the morning, you're good for the day. So another thing we do in the morning, one of our morning routine, is to pick our eggs in the morning. Egg collection is actually very important. We do this to prevent breakage. You see, sometimes the birds, they peck on their eggs and they break them. So we have to pick them in the morning so as to ensure that all our eggs are fine. They are not broken by the birds. So we have to pick our eggs in the morning also. And also, when we pick the eggs in the morning, it helps us to set the motion for the day. We know what the day is going to look like. We know, oh, this day is going to be good. Imagine if you're picking a certain number, a high number at this time. Then we check on the water also. You see the water nipple, I'm tapping on it. We always have to check on it that it is functional. It is not like it is blocked. All these things are very important, because when the water nipple is blocked, the birds are not able to drink water. They get starved of water, and it might lead to them being unalive. So I need to also mention this. Should it look like I am saying the audio is different from what my mouth is saying, that's because I recorded this video at the farm and my mic went off. I didn't know my mic was off. So yes, that's why the audio is like this. Now I have to do a voiceover on the video, so please accept it that way. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Anyway, if you've watched this extent, if you're coming across my video for the first time, my name is Modupe. I'm a layer poultry farmer doing business in Nigeria. And of course, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you, my people. You know it's not always like this, but let's accept it this way. So then again, we're talking about the daily routine in a layer poultry farm to ensure maximum production at all time. So in the morning, our morning starts at about 7 a.m. and morning period ends about 11 a.m. So these are things we do on the farm in the morning. We check the birds, we open the pen. Of course, we have to clean the surrounding. We check the health of the birds, we feed the birds and all that. So we check their water and all that. So in the afternoon, this is the afternoon period, one of the things we have to do is raking or shining, whereby we have to touch the feed to ensure that more birds are getting their normal feed for the day. It's not like some birds are getting more feed than the others. The feed should be uniform. So that's why it is advised that the farmer comes into the pen at interval to touch the feeders, rub it. They call it rubbing, they call it shining, they call it raking. So whatever name you call it on your farm, you can let me know in the comment section. So we also check the water during the noon period, also the noon period, of course, or afternoon. So these are the routine we do in the afternoon. We evenly spread the feed. We check the water again. You see, water is very important in poultry farming. We check the water. We check for any funny sound coming from the birds, because they might be pecking on themselves. So once we hear any sound, we have to do something about it. We ensure that everywhere is ventilated in the afternoon, because the sun might be hot at that time. We come into the pen, ensure that the birds are fine, they are comfortable. If they are not comfortable, then it's an issue. So we also check the water. You see, I'm always mentioning about water. We check the water again, tapping on the water nipples to be sure that water is coming out, the birds are getting water to drink, they are not starved and all that. Yes. So, and that's some of the things we do in the afternoon. Again, the afternoon period is about 12 to about 2-3 p.m. We cannot overemphasize the importance of ventilation. Your pen has to be ventilated during the noon period. If you have covering around your pen, like what I have at the end of my pen over there, you have to take them up so that enough breeze, enough air gets to the birds and they are comfortable. They are not agitated and all that. Because heat stress are not a farmer's friend. You don't want your birds stressed. You don't want anything, any kind of discomfort dealing with them. So for the routines we have to do in the evening, we have to feed the birds again. The remaining 35%, we have to give it to the birds. And this period is around 4 to about 5:30 or 5 o'clock. We close at 5 p.m. on my farm. So we have to feed the birds again around 4 p.m. Then of course we pick the remaining eggs. We ensure that we don't miss any egg. Like we don't miss taking any egg that was laid that day. Then we also check for predators around the farm. We have to ensure that the farm is safe, the farm is secured, everything is fine. We have to also check on the birds. We are sure that all the birds are fine. There's no case of fighting. So it doesn't mean that it won't mean that we'll have to come the next day and we'll meet any concern on the farm. So we just have to ensure a clean environment. We have to ensure a stress-free environment. We have to ensure an environment that is well ventilated. All this to ensure that we have good egg quality, good egg production on the farm at all time. So for the evening time, it's closing. We are winding down the day. The day is getting over. We just have to check some, run through the routine we did in the morning, run through them again. And so that's about it for today. Thank you for watching and bearing with me with this voiceover and my mouth saying something else. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. And so we see on another video where I come with another interesting topic. And I would ensure that my mic works. Yes, I'll ensure that my mic works. So now let's round off and come out of the pen, and that's about it. So if you've noted all this routine I have mentioned and you are doing them on your farm, you're sure of good production and of course good profits.